Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick little recap of last night's game. Even though it was an ugly game, I didn't expect the Chicago Bulls to win going into that game, I'm going to be honest. But nonetheless, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Leave a quick like on today's video, takes a second, helps me out. And some comments and questions below today's video talking about last night's game and all the news and rumors I'm about to jump into today's video. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into a quick little recap of last night's game. I'm going to be honest, it was just an ugly game from start to finish from the Chicago Bulls. And I'm going to be honest, going into this game, I expected an L just because the Cavs have been playing really well. And I don't know why I just felt like, the Bulls were going to lose this game. The Bulls really struggled from the field. Nobody really played that great. I mean, Vucevic has really struggled to start the season. I know if you look at stats, he did have 18 and 12, but his shooting to start the season has just been terrible. I'm really not sure what's going on with Vucevic. But nonetheless, I don't blame the Bulls for losing this game. We're missing like 5 or 6 players. The Bulls had to sign a 16th player to their roster that I'm about to jump into because they're having so many injury and COVID issues. Last night's game was just an ugly game in general. Hopefully the Bulls bounce back against the Miami Heat Saturday. So definitely leave some comments and questions talking about last night's game. There really is that much to say. The Bulls are really hurt and they're honestly just dealing with a lot of injuries and issues right now. Hopefully this Bulls team can get healthy soon. But either way, onto the first topic in today's video. Just yesterday, due to all the injuries and COVID protocols going on, the Chicago Bulls did sign forward Stanley Johnson out of the NBA G League's South Bay Lakers via the hardship exceptions, sources have told The Athletic and Stadium. And this is the obvious choice. I saw a lot of Bulls fans wanting the Bulls to sign Iman Shumpert because he was just talking to ABC the other day. Definitely check out my last video if you guys missed it. I talked about that whole situation. He said he wanted to play for Chicago and it would be a dream. This was the obvious move to make. Stanley Johnson obviously went to training camp with the Chicago Bulls, so he knows the players, the coaches, the system, the offense, the defense, everything like that. And because this is via a hardship exception, Stanley Johnson more than likely isn't going to stay with the Chicago Bulls for long. I expect him to probably get cut the second one of the Bulls players get off the COVID list or get healthy. But I really liked Stanley Johnson, so I'm happy the Bulls brought him back for maybe a week or even less. He is 25, a 6'7" small forward. He has a 7-foot wingspan. If he does play, he's just a solid defensive player, really struggling on the offensive end. He's kind of just been jumping from NBA team to NBA team for the past few seasons now, but I'm happy that the Bulls at least signed a man just in case someone else gets COVID or someone else gets hurt. So definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about that whole situation as well. So now let's jump into the fun topics. And the other day, some big news did come out, and Shams did tweet out that the Indiana Pacers are moving towards a total rebuild. They are open to trade talks centered around Caris LeVert and Sabonis or Miles Turner. I have seen a lot of Bulls fans on Twitter and Facebook talk about this. I've seen a few YouTube videos even suggesting that the Chicago Bulls should trade for one of these players. And before I jump into this topic and break it down and give my opinion on it, let me know below today's video if you guys think the Chicago Bulls should trade for Sabonis or Miles Turner. And I'm going to be honest, I really like both these players. The Bulls have been kind of connected to every power forward and center on the trade market for, honestly, since the season has started. And Mark K. Hoops on Twitter was talking about this whole subject, and he said the Bulls obviously don't need Caris LeVert. He also said Sabonis for Vucevic is a wash. I don't see any way that the Chicago Bulls can trade for Sabonis. I'm really high on Sabonis. I really liked him since he's been drafted into the NBA. He's only 25 years old. He's an all-star in the NBA. He's a 6'11" center. He was the 11th pick back in 2016. This man is a walking double-double, and in 34 minutes a night, he does put up 18 points per game, shooting 58% from the field, 30% from three-point range, and averaging 12 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and about a block a game as well. He's very talented, honestly a number 1 option in the NBA. I just don't see any way that the Bulls could trade for him. The Bulls are already kind of lacking trade assets, so I just already don't even think that's a possibility. And say the Bulls even do trade for him, I feel like Sabonis next to Vucevic wouldn't make sense. You really can't run 2 big men in the NBA nowadays, and that's probably why the Pacers are trading both them or maybe one of them. So I just don't see any reality where the Bulls can trade for Sabonis. I know some Bulls fans do want to get him. And say we do trade for him, I highly doubt that's even possible or it ever whatever happens. But the Bulls have already struggled to get Vooch into the offense at times enough this season, and I feel like, say the Bulls even could trade for Sabonis, it would just ruin the offense even more. You know, there's only one basketball. Sabonis would be another all-star adding to this roster. There's just no way. The Bulls don't have the trade assets, and there's only one ball on the court at a time, so it just doesn't make sense. And then Mark continued, and he said Miles Turner is good, but not worth the cost if he's meant to be a backup. And I disagree with that. I really like Miles Turner. I've been high on him since he got drafted into the NBA. I know a lot of Bulls fans have been begging me to make a video talking about him for weeks now. I feel like he would fit on this Bulls roster perfectly. I feel like he would fit like a glove. And another Bulls insider, Carlos Douglas, was talking about this whole situation, and he said Miles Turner is a guy that would be an awesome fit at power forward for the Chicago Bulls, and I agree 100%. You know, he did say Chicago has a few trade assets, and it could be hard to make this deal work, but I will never count out AK and Mark Eversley out of any possibility. He also said, I feel like a power forward or center will be added by the February trade deadline, and I agree 100%. You know, I've always been high on Miles Turner, and if the Bulls do trade for anyone on the Pacers, I hope it's Miles Turner. The only problem is he is making a lot of money per season. He is making about $18 million per season, so that will definitely be an issue, say the Bulls are even interested in him. The most realistic offer the Chicago Bulls could make the Pacers would more than likely be Coby White, Derrick Jones Jr., and our 2022 first-round draft pick. I highly doubt that even gets it done, and I highly doubt the Bulls even trade for him due to all their cap issues and stuff already coming up, having to pay Zach and all. But I do feel like Miles Turner would be a perfect fit on this roster. I mean, he's only 25 years old, a 6'11 center, 7'4 wingspan. He's been very solid for the Pacers for a while now. On this season, he does play about 29 minutes a night, averaging about 13 points per game, shooting 53% from the field, 40% from 3, and also 8 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and almost 3 blocks per game. I mean, just the other day against the Bulls, he had 12, 10, and 4 blocks. This man is a defensive monster. He's a blocking machine. If there's any way that the Bulls could trade for him and get him on this roster, I am 100% down. I feel like he would be a great power forward to put next to Vooch, and even at a backup center. I feel like even though he is making a lot of money, I'd be really happy if the Bulls could make a trade for him. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video if you guys would want the Chicago Bulls to trade for Sabonis or Miles Turner. And the final topic in today's video is just a little injury update and COVID update. You know, it's tough to see that the Bulls are having an outbreak like they are right now. Despite being 100% vaccinated, you know, Chicago has now lost 4 players to health and safety protocols in the last week. And like I said earlier in today's video, Shams did confirm that Chicago brought back Stanley Johnson. Hopefully the Bulls can get a lot of players back, but even when they are back, you know, COVID does bother players for, I'd say, a few games or a few days even after they are cleared. Alex Caruso is doing well, Billy Donovan did say. The original plan with him was he would be, I'd say, checked out this weekend and then they would go from there. But Billy Donovan did say there's a possibility Alex Caruso could be playing Saturday versus the Miami Heat. So that's always great news. Hopefully the Bulls can start getting healthy and getting all these players back and continue to win games that they should win. But nonetheless, definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video talking about all the topics I talked about. Thank you guys for all the love on the past few videos on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.